Alright, welcome to White Tiger Kenpo Orange Belt, Lesson 4. In this lesson we're going to go over passing the horizon, which is for a hammer lock from behind, and A and B variation, and kimono grab A, B, C, and D variation, which is for a high double lapel grab. So let's bow in and get started. Okay, the first one we're going to go over is passing the horizon. This is for a hammer lock from behind, so they got your right hand to right hand. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to counter grab that arm as soon as they grab. Then on the A version we're going to step back as we elbow strike the face, going right through that face, going right through that jaw. Okay, and then from here we're going to pivot back around, and with our left foot we're going to step to the 230 position as we drop our hand. Now this is very important at this point, because you want to drop that hand because we're going to attack the shoulder. Now we've talked about this. You can't lock out your shoulder. So if you attack the shoulder and you do this correctly, there's nothing they can do about it. Okay? So we're going to drop the hand and we're going to pull them all forward. And we want to do that because we want to get them off balance. Okay? So here, pull. Now as we pull forward, we're going to do a big arch. We're going to go pass over the horizon. Okay? So there's your horizon, and we're going to pass over it. So the first part of this on A is step back with your left, elbow face to the jaw, step forward, drop your hand, and make sure you step forward enough so that when you pivot back around to face the 730 position, you're in a fighting stance. If you don't step far enough across, when you go to pivot, your legs are going to be jammed up and you're going to be off balance. So make sure you step past your right leg. So again, elbow, step, past the leg, pull them, and we're going to pass over. And then you can either check the elbow or you can heel palm the elbow. You got to strike there if you want it. And then also, because of the way you're doing this, you have a inside wrist lock that you can use to help continue on with the technique. So let's go up to that point one more time and we'll finish it off. So, hand behind, counter grab, elbow to the face, left leg steps to 230, making sure you cross in front of your right leg, drop the hand, pull them forward, and then as you pivot to face 730, you're going to do the pass over, checking the elbow. That'll put them down and in this position like this. Okay, and then from here you kick the rib cage. Okay, again, elbow, step, pass over and check. You can go into a wrist lock here and drive it down further, or you can just keep the hand on as a check as you throw a front snap kick to the rib cage with your left leg. Okay, let's do it from this angle here. Get back here a little bit. Okay, so we're going to step back, elbow, and then we're going to step to 230, pass over, front snap kick. Okay, from the front direction, we step, elbow, step to 230, drop the hand, pass it over in a big circle, check, front snap kick, land forward, or you can land back depending on how you plan on following this up. If you land forward, you still got your elbow strike right there if you want it. Okay, that's passing the horizon A. That is just going to use your lower weight to get stuff done. So it's just one more time. Elbow left, step left, pull, pass over, left front snap kick. The B version, we're going to use the whole body. Starts off the same. Elbow, but this time we're going to step left to 1030 as we pull them forward. Now as we pull forward further, we're going to step back again right to 1030, throwing a front snap kick to the face. You have the same locks, you have the same check. We're just using a double step, so this way we get a whole body involved in the rotation rather than just the leg power. So again on B, counter grab, elbow, step left to about 11 o'clock, I would say then you're going to step back right to 10-30, check the arm or strike it, front snap kick to the face, and that's passing the horizon B. Okay, from this angle, the B version. Step. Okay, step left, step back right, check, front snap kick. You got an outside wrist lock right here. Okay, from the front, elbow, step, step and pass, kick at the same time. Now that's important. When you do that second step, this is when you're doing the second step here, this is when you want to pass over. And there again, big circles. And I always try to cam, if I'm not going to use a check or a strike on it, as I'm passing over and I'm going to go into a lock, I'll use both hands to control the wrists, so it's easier to do an outside wrist lock. And that's passing the horizon A and B. Now we're going to do kimono grab A through D. A and B are basically the same thing, so once you understand A, the rest are really easy because it's all based on those moves of A. Now A starts off with a two-hand lapel grab. We're going to pin the hands. Just like anything, anytime anybody grabs us, we always pin or counter grab so we know where those hands are. So we're going to pin. Then we're going to step back to straighten out those arms. As we do so, we're going to take a forearm strike and drive it right up under the elbow. Okay, don't hit the elbow and don't go below it. You want it right up under that elbow where those tricep tendons are. Okay, pin, soft bow, break. Bring the hand down to reset it up as you go to soft bow again. Continue that circle. Slap the hands in. That'll jerk that head forward as we figure eight back out of it into a chop to the throat. Okay, let's just do that part. Pin, step. Okay, forearm strike into horse. You're supposed to try to break the arms, but you're most likely just going to tear and hyperextend the elbow in reality. So pin, strike, back to soft bow. Clear that arm, figure eight right out of it into a chop. When you do this, you want to get, even if you do it slow, where the hand doesn't stop. Okay? Now, let's talk about the chop. There's two ways to do the chop depending on what you're comfortable with. Okay, let me tell you what's going to follow up. After you do the chop, you're going to do a cradle and crush. So, some people like to swing around and chop out and then come in with a cradle and crush. I like to do more of a strike through the, or rake through, however you want to look at it, through the throat. So when you break, back to soft bow, clear, the way I do it is like coming around for the figure eight, I just strike through it, set up my elbow strike, continue back around with a cradle and crush, immediately follow that up with a rollover hammer fist, draw a cat, back kick, and cross out. Okay, again, pin, step back, soft bow, break the stance, back to soft bow, clear, figure eight, chop either at the throat or through it, set up your hand for the cradle and crush, continue on with that motion, hammer fist to the groin, draw a cat, pause, reset, figure out where your opponent is, throw the back kick, and cross out at that point. Okay, from this angle. Pin, soft bow, break the fighting stance, back to soft bow, clear, chop, set the hand up, cradle and crush, hammer fist, back kick, and cross out, ready to continue to defend if you need to. Now, if you have that down, then go on to the rest of these. If not, pause this section, get that part down, and then continue on, because this is all based on this move right here. Okay, now that you got the A version down, let's go to B. B is identical to A except for one bit, and that is the shuffle. What you're going to do is you've come in and you've broke, come in, you've cleared, but the hands are not pinned any longer, okay? You lost the clear. Instead of jerking the head forward, the hands got slapped loose. So you go to chop, and they back up on you, or that you miss the chop, depending on how you want to look at the scenario. Either way, you're going to shuffle forward, cradle and crush, hammer fist, back kick, and cross out. So the only difference between A and B is B has a shuffle. So again, pin, break, back to stance, clear, chop, set up the cradle and crush, hammer fist, kick, and out, and that's your A variation. B, break, clear, chop, they're no longer in range, shuffle, hammer fist, kick, and cross. And the shuffle does not need to be a big, huge shuffle. You're not trying to gain 6 feet. You're trying to gain maybe a half a step distance, just enough to get that chop in there. Now that's A and B for kimono grab. Now the C version is slightly different. We're going to show you how to do it a similar way, but do it slightly different. Instead of breaking the arms, we're going to take a back knuckle and strike right under that nerve there, right at the elbow. And we're going to back knuckle into it. Then we're going to come across, chop, forearm break to the elbow. Okay, so this first strike is going to go to the outside elbow, and what you're trying to aim for is right in here. Okay, you want to get that back knuckle right in there, right in that medial nerve, okay, the funny bone. You guys have hit that, you know what it feels like, so that's what you're aiming for. So as you step back, you're just going to pop that real quick. Boom. Back in, pull them in, chop the throat, bring the hand back, but instead of doing a cradle and crush, we're just going to break the arm and go for the break. Okay, so A variation of kimono grab. Back, break, down, clear, chop the throat, set the hand up, cradle and crush, roll over hammer fist, back kick, and out. The B version, pin, break, back, clear, chop, shuffle forward, cradle and crush, hammer fist, back kick, and cross out. The C version, what I just taught you, starts off the same. One, back knuckle strike, then come in, pull them in, chop the throat, set the hand up, but no cradle and crush, we're going for an arm break. Okay, one last time on C. One, back knuckle, clear, chop, break. Now the D version to this is the same as C. We're just going to take C one step further. So I'm going to do it from this angle. Actually, I'm going to do it from this angle so you can see better on what I'm doing on C and D. So the D variation, we're going to step back, back knuckle, bring the hand in, clear, chop, break the arm as we maintain that pin. Then we're going to pull it back slightly. Okay? Not a lot. We just want to bend that elbow, and then we're going to web hand it and bring it up and down, just like we did in the previous technique when we did, my mind just went blank, but I'm grasping talent. So that's similar motion. We're going to bring that elbow up, over, drop it down, place your knee on the shoulder blades, squeeze the arm joint together, and you should be able to get them into a lock from there. Okay, again, D. One, strike, back down, clear, chop, elbow, shove that web hand up and over, drop your knee down, using that as a strike right on that shoulder blade, pinning that arm between your legs. You should be able to control them hands-free at this point. Okay, so you've learned quite a bit in this lesson. These are two big techniques. You got passing the horizon, which we'll go over one time here. Elbow, step, pass over, kick. So version A, only one step. B, elbow, step, pull, step, front snap kick. Then you got kimono grab A, pin, forearm strike underneath it, back down, clear the arms, chop the throat, cradle and crush, roll over hammer fist, back kick, cross out. Then you have B version, pin, break, clear, shuffle and chop, cradle and crush, or chop after you cradle and crush. I'm sorry, we do B version again. Back knuckle, here, clear, chop, shuffle, hammer fist, back kick, and out. Now, there's nothing wrong with shuffling while you do the chop. It's really going to depend on how they react when you do that chop. But we're assuming in the video that they chop got in and they back up at that point. But they could have not. You could have totally missed the chop and still need to shuffle in. Okay, so that's A and B. C. 1, here, chop, break. And then D, back knuckle, hitting that medial nerve, clear, chop, break. Maybe the elbow bends. Maybe you just want to continue on defending yourself, but you're going to now take them down. Drop your right knee as hard as you can right into the top of that shoulder blade, pinning that between your legs. So when you're on the ground, you look kind of like this with the shoulder right underneath that kneecap. Okay, that is your next two techniques. So practice those, then come back for lesson 5. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to contact me, comments, emails, whatever is the easiest for you. Until then, best of luck, and see you on your next lesson.